Now the state capitol has some asking, are California lawmakers trying to punish journalists?
Our KCRA 3 political director, Ashley Zavala, is here getting the facts on AB 2624. Ash, what did you find out?
I mean, we've gotten so many messages from people asking us to look into and explain this bill. Many are concerned that this proposal could try to stop us from investigative journalism or investigating fraud. Now, after reading through the bill, watching all of the hearings so far and talking to nonpartisan experts who don't have a say in either political party, we've learned it is unlikely reporters would be punished under this bill. So the proposal, AB 2624, had its latest hearing in the Assembly Public Safety Committee today. This bill specifically would allow people who work for or volunteer for organizations that provide services to immigrants to be eligible for the state's Safe at Home program. That is a program that conceals the home address of those who fear for their safety, like victims of domestic violence and sex trafficking, for example. Groups like the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, also known as CHIRLA, say this is needed because they have been facing legitimate threats of stalking and harassment. The bill does another thing. It also allows immigrant service providers to either sue or have criminal charges filed against a person or business for posting personal information or images of the providers online if the poster wanted to incite great bodily harm or threaten the provider in a way that could make them objectively fear for their personal safety. Attorneys we spoke to say it would be very hard for a court to find a journalist guilty of that because of their First Amendment protections. Now, even though this bill is getting a lot of attention online, only one person showed up to today's hearing in opposition of this bill. It was a man who said he was an independent journalist from Sacramento. Now, this bill has nothing to do with YouTuber Nick Shirley, but some Republicans have been calling it the Stop Nick Shirley Act because they are worried about how it could be interpreted and applied to journalists who are exposing fraud, the way they note Shirley did with daycares in Minnesota. Shirley has been criticizing this bill online. So I asked longtime lobbyist and adjunct Mature School of Law Professor Chris McKaylee if this bill would prevent reporters from exposing fraud. Here's what he said.
No, there's having somebody's personal information and posting that personal information or their photo has nothing to do with investigating fraud or otherwise being a professional or a citizen journalist. I think every bill could, what we call, tighten up the language, meaning make it abundantly clear as to what it applies to and what it doesn't apply to. But the bill is narrowly crafted to address only certain instances.
I did ask Assemblymember Bonta how, with the way this bill is written right now, she can guarantee this bill would not open up journalists or news organizations to lawsuits. Her spokesman told me Assemblymember Mia Bonta is committed to making sure it's clear that this does not impede on the ability for journalists to do their jobs. We should note this bill has a long way to go. It still has another hearing in the Assembly. It needs to pass the full Assembly. Then it needs to go to the state Senate, has a whole round of hearings in the Senate, it needs to pass the state Senate, and then also needs to be considered by Governor Gavin Newsom. So, yeah.
All right, well, we're glad you're looking into it because you did a great job explaining it, especially online if you want to go look at it online, because it's really important to know who you're listening to, who you can trust, because online there's just people saying things on both sides of the island. Actually, a lot of them aren't even right.
Exactly.
So you explain it really well, getting the facts for all of us. So
For you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.